What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games, and in today's video, we're going to be helping you out pick between Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because there's a lot of version exclusive Pokemon, and honestly, it looks like both games are going to be good, but I want to make sure that you know exactly what you're buying. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, I really appreciate it. Let's begin with the Pokemon Scarlet exclusive Pokemon. So, of course, besides Pokemon, obviously, Koraidon Miraidon is your ride Pokemon, so that's going to be version exclusive. And of course, the Professor is another version exclusive. Outside of that, it's just down to these Pokemon. So big win for Scarlet. The Tyranitar line is fantastic. It's always going to be a meta Pokemon. And I'm going to say this, if you already know what Violet is getting on one of their Paradox Pokemon, Tyranitar is better than Paradox Tyranitar, Iron Thorns in Pokemon Violet. It's literally just a better Pokemon because Sandstream is that good. So keep that in mind. Huge win for Scarlet right here. Drifloon is actually really good. Solid Pokemon. It has String Sap, so it has some sort of competitive viability too. So this is actually a pretty good, solid Pokemon for Scarlet here. Stunk Tank, solid. Nothing too crazy. I just personally like Stunk Tank. I think it's a good Poison Dark Pokemon are just really good in general. So I think that's a good pickup for Scarlet. Hydreigon is in Scarlet, and I think, yeah, this is a good Pokemon. But one, Violet actually destroys Scarlet here in their counter pickup. So big L for Scarlet considering what Violet gets. So that's a little bit disappointing. Also, Violet does get the Paradox version of this, and the Paradox Hydreigon is 100 times better than regular Hydreigon. So put that out there. Dragalge is actually a pretty good win for Scarlet for me, just because poison and dragon typing is really unique and awesome to see. And it's always nice to have a unique Pokemon that you could potentially run in VGC. It is a bit slow, but it's actually a pretty solid Pokemon. It has good special attack. A Rangaroo is a massive W for Scarlet. If you're a VGC player, you want a Rangaroo. This Pokemon having Instruct, making it so other Pokemon does their move twice, is massive. So if you want to play VGC, this actually may be the biggest reason for you to pick it up. And Stonejourner, another VGC Focusmon with a power spot, not as good, but hey, another thing to consider, right? Now we got our Paradox Pokemon. Great Tusk is phenomenal. I think one, design-wise, is phenomenal. Two, it is literally the best attacking combo in all Pokemon. Fighting and ground is literally has 8 super effective types. It's hitting. It's crazy. So that's a big win. Brute Banat is just straight up a better Amoonguss, and we know how powerful Amoonguss has been in VGC, and as a Spore user, and yes, it still has Spore, but now it has a crazy high attack stat. So it's like a Spore user that can do damage and kill you. That's crazy. So that's a really good mon too. The DLC, we're going to get past Suicune for Pokemon Scarlet, and honestly, like, I'm really hyped for that. I personally like it more than the past Virizion for Violet. Sandy Shocks is a really cool Pokemon, actually pretty solid Pokemon too. Love the design, big fan for this for Scarlet. Screamtail coming to Scarlet. I actually don't think this is the Pokemon's gonna be that good. Has some setup moves, but the stats overall aren't too great. Very defensive, but no damage overall. Fluttermane, I will say the design of Fluttermane sucks, which is just is literally just Mischievous, but it just has terrible design. The stats on there are broken. I think this thing is going to show straight to Uber. So if you want a really broken Pokemon, this thing that's for you. Slitherwing is a physical Volcarona fighting bug. I think this thing's badass. If you like the animation of this, definitely look it up. Slitherwing. If you are a fan of how this thing looks, I think this is a major reason why you buy Scarlet. And then Roaring Moon is my personal favorite of the Pokemon Scarlet exclusives, and honestly, all the Paradox Pokemon. It's going to be both absolutely busted. Dragon Dark is insane. And of course, we got Armor Rouge as well versus Serial Legend Violet. Also, there's another exclusive that is not listed on Scarlet or Violet. The Firefighting Tauros is only in Scarlet, while in Violet, you have the Fighting Water Tauros. So if that matters to you, that is something, because I've been playing through Scarlet, have not seen that Water Tauros once, and I think it's been pretty much confirmed by a lot of people on Twitter at this point. Now, looking at Pokemon Violet, you get regular Mischievous. So there's a lot of big things where it's like the regular forms are in one version and the Paradox are in the other, right? Gulpin and Swalot, I don't think this is a good pickup for Violet. I think that's pretty much a big L, honestly. But Mr. Fish and Mismagius is a pretty big win. It's the counterparts, of course, to the Drifloon and Drifloon. Honestly, they're both great, so I think that evens it out there. Salamence, I'll have to say this, regular Salamence is just not it. The Paradox form is way better. This is pretty much the exact same counterpart to Hydreigon, because Paradox, Hydreigon is just way better than regular, so the same thing's happening with Violet here. Clawcher and Klotzer, so I'll say this, I love this Pokemon way more than the Dragalge line, but Dragalge is a way better Pokemon. Personally, though, I would actually pick Scarlet for this because I just love this Pokemon, and the red shiny is fantastic. Passimian versus Oranguru. Oranguru is just naturally better. I mean, Passimian does have some VGC viability, but honestly, most of it for last gen was because of Dynamax. It's not going to really be that popular. SQ is interesting because Snowstorm is really good now, so this actually may be phenomenal, and if you're going to make a Hail team, SQ could be a good Pokemon to put on your Hail team, so keep that in mind. If you want to make a Snow team or Hail team, then Violet may be the version for you. Dragapult is the biggest one. Honestly, I can be real. The moment I saw Dragapult on Violet, because I'm a Scarlet player, but the fact that I saw Violet get Dragapult, I almost changed my entire plan. Because this Pokemon is seriously one of the best Pokemon in the metagame in both VGC and in singles play. It is also one of the best designs in Pokemon, in my opinion. And honestly, it is my favorite pseudo-legendary too. So if you're a Dragapult guy, there you go. This is going to be the version you need to pick up. Iron Treads, I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, Ground Steel is pretty solid typing, but I much prefer a Great Tusk. Then Future Virizion, which is going to be in the DLC. It's a combination of all the Sword Trio. Same with the Beast for Pokemon Scarlet, which is a combination of Beasts. We haven't really seen them. We saw like a sketch of them, but nothing too definite right now. Iron Moth, pretty sick. This thing's badass, and it's the ultimate fairy killer, being poison and fire. Iron Hands is actually really good too. Electric and fighting. This thing is going to be really good. I think a lot of people are sleeping on this, but this is a big win for Violet, honestly. I think this Pokemon's going to be crazy good. Iron Jugulus is another big win for Violet, honestly. Pretty sick. Dark Flying is a really good type combo too, so don't sleep on it. Now, Iron Thorns, unfortunately, is a sick design, but is a complete L when you compare regular Tyranitar to this. So, unfortunately, this is not a win. I would not be happy with this. Iron Bundle is actually pretty badass, though. This Pokemon is one of the fastest Pokemon in the entire game. It also has Aurora Veil, and it is ice and water, which is great. And it's going to be a fantastic Pokemon in Snowstorm. So, once again, you're going to make a Snowstorm team. Pokemon Violet is going to be your version for sure. Then Iron Valiant is badass. The thing is sick. I do like Roaring Moon more, but Iron Valiant is essentially right below it. It is so sick. It's so strong. Lots of good sets too, and a lot of moves in its move pool to use. And then lastly, Ceruledge, which I think Ceruledge is more badass than Armarouge personally, but you know, obviously they're both great Pokemon, and it's very easy to actually get both of them. All you have to do is just kill a certain amount of Pokemon to get their materials, and then you trade it for their trade evolution item. But something to mention that a lot of people have not been saying is if you're playing co-op with someone in Pokemon Scarlet and you have Violet or vice versa, you can actually go into their game and catch their exclusive Pokemon. So let's say for me, oh, I want to get Dragapult, but I have Scarlet. I'm going to go my friends who has Violet, go to the area where Dragapult's line will spawn, and then I can catch all the Dragapults I want, and then I'll be good. I can breed them myself, and then I can shiny hunt them with eggs. I mean, it's not, of course not going to be as easy because I won't get the mouse outbreaks in my game for them, but at the very least, I'll have them, and then I can breed them for shinies and things like that. So it's not over. So the big thing here is make sure to have a friend who's getting the opposite version of you and then play together. Of course, you want to play together anyways because there are raids and co-op, and the co-op is fully seamless and really fun. So highly recommend doing that. But there we have it, guys. That is all of the version exclusive for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I hope this video was helpful on helping you figure out which version to get. Honestly, both games are great, and I've already beat Pokemon Scarlet, and I love it. So I think you guys will love these games too. Of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like the video, and I'll catch you guys next time with more Pokemon action. Peace out, and have a great one.